Hey guys, hello and welcome to my very first ever Outward video. I am Skooma, and today I'm going to show you all step by step the path that I, as a veteran player, take when creating a new character. This video will hopefully have something for everyone, but it is going to be geared more towards the newer players, and as such I have crafted a very special build. I call it the Master of None. I wanted something that wasn't too powerful, something that didn't quickly trivialize the game, but still was able to carry you through all the content of a first playthrough. Full disclaimer, this build is not the best, but it's not meant to be. With this build, you will be able to adapt to any situation, play any role, in co-op or solo, and most importantly, survive. Versatility and fun is what this is all about. That being said, I will be making a separate video later going more in detail on combat tricks and showing you how you can upgrade your gear and really optimize this in several ways to attempt endgame content. For this first video, because I'm new to recording and editing, we're going to do something a bit more casual, more of a let's play type thing with little to no editing, and as such this may be a bit long, but bear with me. I plan on making many more videos in the future, and this one should get all the major general info out of the way. Again, with all of that said, let's jump right into it. Now, I've already taken the liberty of preparing some items and doing the potion craft farming for all the gold bars we're going to need today. And if you want to know how to do that, there are plenty of other guides explaining it. It's pretty self-explanatory. And I'm not about to produce another Batman origin story here. So, otherwise, this is a brand new character. And we are here at the trader in front of the gates. He's going to be the most important trader in your playthrough because he's going to sell everything that we need to prepare, or most everything we're going to need before we leave town.
Greetings, friend.
As you see here, he has the chance. It's low. It's usually only about a 30% chance. This is actually a pretty good run, but he has the chance to sell palladium, scaled leather, flintlock pistols, and what we're really looking for here, I mean, we need all those, but what we're really looking for here, and as you can see I already kind of prepared, is obsidian. He also has a chance to sell that. Now, he doesn't sell crystal powder, but the alchemist in town does sell mana stones, and if you combine 4 of those in an alchemy kit, you will crush them down into a single crystal powder. And this is a necessary ingredient for one of our recipes today. We're going to go ahead and pick this up. We're going to talk.
Greetings, friend.
And we're going to sell one of our bars and trade for partial pistol. Now that we've done that, we're going to go ahead and drop our bag. We're going to take the pistol. I bought this iron great axe at the blacksmith. It was only 25 silver. He always has it. We're not going to really be using this too much for this build, but I did feel like I'd go ahead and show you guys a good starter melee weapon you can craft, just in case you want to deviate a bit from my path and explore, and maybe you feel a bit more comfortable with this. So I did grab it. We're going to show you what you can do with it. We're going to grab the obsidian, our scaled leathers, predator bones. These can be got from the hyenas around town, and if you're lucky, you can get a few from the hyenas in the tutorial. If you don't get any in the tutorial, just go outside and poke some hyenas around a little bit with that axe until you get a few of these. We only need 4, I believe, total. Now that we've taken all of that, we're going to unequip our clothing. This is just basic clothing. It can be any basic clothing. This is just the starter clothes you get from the very first room. We're going to tab over to crafting. We're going to put the chest piece in, followed by 2 scaled leather and a predator bones. And there we have scaled leather attire. This gives you great resistances, a fantastic damage bonus, and a bonus to your pouch, which is going to help with inventory management throughout the beginning stages of the game. So it's pretty great and can carry you through your entire content and story if you choose for it to. Next, we're going to do the boots, and it's the identical recipe. 2 scaled leather and a predator bone. And there we have the matching boots that also come with a damage bonus, which is awesome. We're going to follow that up with the main focus of our build today. We're going to do, actually first we have to break down our palladium spikes to get 1 piece of palladium. We're going to use our pistol, crystal powder, obsidian shard, and that palladium scrap to craft 1 obsidian pistol. This is fantastic and will actually be something that we will use all the way into our end game build later on down the line. Next, we're going to go ahead and do our axe. We're going to combine it with 2 fangs this time, and we need a single cloth. If you don't have a cloth, like I don't have here, you can run around a bit and check the loot. Honestly, you should actually have a cloth by now because I skipped all of the clothing in the tutorial. But there you go. Any one of those will work. A little tattered hood. And you can decraft that into a little cloth piece. Linen cloth. So now you do an axe, 2 predator bones, and that piece of cloth. And there we have a fanged great axe. Does really great damage early on, has a really fast attack speed, great move set, and inflicts bleeding on enemies. This will take bandits out very quickly. You can do the same recipe for a great sword or a halberd or whatever weapon you choose, but I prefer the axe, the 2-handed axe. I feel like it is the best of the options. And again, that's personal preference, but I really like the move set. So now you have great starter gear and great axe, amazing pistol. We're going to use the rest of this. We're going to pick up our satchel. And we're going to unequip it, and we're going to actually add it to our crafting. Now this has to be the primitive satchel. This is the very first backpack that you get downstairs when you wake up in the lighthouse. But you combine it with 3 scaled leather, and you get a scaled satchel. This satchel gives you 60 capacity and doesn't impede you whenever you dodge. This is the best backpack you can get early on as far as capacity goes, and it makes combat a lot easier without having to drop your backpack to maneuver around. So now we're going to go ahead and move all this into our backpack so that we can move. And then I kept these just to show you. You can combine an endurance potion with a crimp nut to get a great endurance potion. We're going to be needing those as we're going to do a lot of running around today. Pretty easy to craft. Health potions, super easy to craft again. These are all things you can find elsewhere. But the recipes are very simple. Very important. I crafted a bunch of traps to prepare. These are going to help you breeze through a lot of the things that we need to do today. We're going to be avoiding most all combat as we run through and prepare our skills. These are going to help with that. You can craft spikes with 4 pieces of iron. Iron can be got from pretty much anywhere. You take swords, iron, shields, what have you, break them down into iron scraps. Miners' pickaxes are really great because they'll break down into 2 scraps each, and there's a place we're going to be going where I'll show you can get a ton of those. Tripwire traps are 2 iron scrap, a piece of wood, and a linen cloth, and it creates 3 of those, or 2 and 3 respectively, I think. Anyway, now we're ready. We're ready to move on. We're going to come over here and make our stop at our very first skill trainer. This trainer up here is a staple in every build. You should always
Can I help you?
Get these skills from him before you leave town. Let's go ahead and get some silver ready. But you come over here to the Spellblade Trainer, and you're wanting to pick up fitness for your health bonus, steady arm for your impact resistance increase when blocking, and if you choose, you can go ahead and grab shield charge. We're going to go ahead and grab it because we can, but that is as far as we need to go with this. Fitness and the blocking skill are really the only ones that are necessary for every build. You might as well grab them. Something that I do with every build that I will not be doing today for the sake of this video is leaving out the storage area to run down the beach and get the tribal favor to pay off our house. I do that at night so that I can farm blue sand, so that I can make blue sand armor for a lot of characters before I leave town. We do not need blue sand. This is my favorite starter gear, and I prefer it over blue sand. This is much easier to make. Also, very important, you probably want to go ahead and speak to all 3 people to get your main story quest started, because by the end of this we will end up in Monsoon, and you do not want to have to backtrack all the way back here just to start that quest so that you can join your faction. So that being said, before you leave town, be at the front gate or the storage area, you do want to talk to Barak with your choice of weapon, as he's going to give you a free skill.
If you're pressed to find a weapon, I'm also sure you can find a spare water skin by the water purifier on the town beach.
He won't let you leave without a water skin. So let's go grab that. This is where you find your water skin. You just tell him you're going to go outside.
You've got the essentials at least. There you go. All right.
And there we have our execution skill
comfortable letting you outside the wall
for this axe. We're not going to equip it because, like I said, we're not going to really be using this axe much. So once you get outside, you can see the mountain in the background. We are going to head straight towards that. Now, one thing I see a lot of new players posting about and running into is that they have trouble leaving town. They get scared to leave because everything just slaughters them. Something you need to keep in mind, you don't have to fight anything in this game. In fact, the point of this game is to survive. Until you go and learn your skills and train, you're not supposed to be a fighter. There's no experience in this game. It's not Skyrim. So pick and choose your battles. I'm going to be doing a hardcore playthrough at another point in the future, where I will be showcasing the combat a bit more and showing you how to utilize food, potions, and stealth so that you can really do everything you need. Every time you see one of these stashes, you want to check it out because they're always going to have tripwire traps or bullets or bandages. Very good to have. We're going to just keep heading towards the mountain. If you see butterflies, little tip, this is a safe zone if you decide to camp here. It completely reduces the chance of you being ambushed. So it's just a little nice tip for you. This caravaner is not always here. This is one of the spots that it can randomly show up. But you always want to check these out when you see them, because there you go, look at that, we got lucky. This is the only place that you have the chance to find the Master Trader gear. So you definitely want to have all of your money sorted out before you leave town so that you can afford these if you run across them and they happen to have them in stock. I try to shoot for these every playthrough as soon as I can, if I can. So this was very lucky. We're also going to go ahead and buy more rations while we're here. And I'm going to buy a plant tent. Plant tents are really great, especially in the desert. They act just as good as your house bed. So when you sleep in them, they feed you and refill your thirst meter. And if you set them down in town, they never go away. You can kind of do a little hobo camp, and it's pretty awesome. So now we're set with some great stuff. Oh, looky there. I said we weren't going to be fighting, and I lied. And there you go. Easy peasy. We're done. Take our ration back. We're not going to need any of that stuff. I guess I'll go ahead and take that in the food. Equip these for now, for travel purposes. And onward we go. We're going to continue heading towards the mountain. Watch our step. Heading south. We want to go around the base of the mountain, following it all the way around to the right, keeping the mountain on our left. Now this is a step that you can skip if you do not plan on using magic for your character. But for this build today, we are using a little bit. Anyway, you keep following the path. Avoiding enemies when you can. And as you see, when you come around, you will find this entrance. This is the easiest entrance into the mountain. No puzzles to solve. No climbing up the mountain. All we have to do is talk to this guy.
What you need? Listen up!
When we go in there, he's going to go in and engage in combat with these guys, allowing a distraction for us to run in and just flip some switches. There's going to be 2 paths to your left, 1 path to your right. Make sure you have your stamina ready. Make sure your light is on because these tunnels are dark. And you just run in, go straight to the left. Run right past the enemies. Flick this first switch. Leave. And go left into the next one. Hit that switch. And now we're going to go across to the last one. And there you go. 3 switches. Opens our gate. We're officially inside the conflux chambers. Nothing to it. As you come through here, again, you want to make sure you have your lantern on, because if you do not, there's a very good possibility you can just fall to your death. I'm going to take this as Sir Shrimp. A little bit of food. The shrimps are great if you boil them. They give you mana regen 5, and that can come in handy, especially later game when you're fighting tougher enemies. You come right on up here, head to the center, and interact. Something to note when you're choosing your mana, you can always come back and get more, but you can never give it back once you've made your decision. So it is a commitment, and you want to kind of plan your build out ahead of time so that you don't make any mistakes. In general, if this was a character I was going to keep, I would probably only take 1 mana. But for the purposes of this video and for newer players, it's probably good for you to take 2. It's totally safe, and is going to give you a little buffer for when you sleep and burn half your mana. This will keep you able to still do everything that you need to do. So we're going to go with 2, but if you really wanted to min-max it, you would just choose 1 because you're going to get more mana later on. When you choose mana, you get your first spell, Spark, and then this guy's going to want to give you another one.
Listen to me.
Both of these are good, and both of these we will be using for our build. For now, though, let's go ahead and just take Reveal Soul, because we can combine that with Spark to replenish our mana without having to use a mana potion. We're going to come here. We're going to talk to this guy.
Feel free to use one of our boats to return to the surface,
because we want to make sure that we get some silver. And then we're going to go back down. We're going to talk to this guy in the center here, the second watcher.
Magic is the weapon.
You train with him,
Warrior.
and you'll get the
Listen
cool
to
boon.
me.
This is going to come in handy when we hit the desert, and also will be an integral part of our final endgame build. When you're done here, you can just use the boat and leave. Here we are. The boat drops you off on the beach here, conveniently right across from Vendavel Fortress. This is always one of the first stops we make, because if you do not, then these bandits will eventually raid the first town and burn it to the ground. If you have not taken care of this, you lose your lighthouse, you lose access to your chest with everything in it, and it's basically just a pretty bad time. So we always try to make sure we come here and take care of this. You can avoid all the enemies and just run right on in. Once inside, something to note: none of the enemies will attack you until you engage them in conversation first. This is fantastic, as it allows us to prepare by setting traps. With these, you shouldn't have to engage in much combat at all, and you'll make light work of this fortress. We'll put a couple here, and now we talk to him.
Well, now, what do we have here?
Just passing by.
What?
Oh,
But
pass,
we have
thanks.
everything you need. No, I think you're sick. You need to see our medic right away. I insist.
We got him out of the way. Here comes his little buddies. Mostly taken out. Easy peasy. Now we're going to head straight. This is the first puzzle you'll come across. We're just going to go right here to this one on the left in the front. That's going to open up your chest. Pretty decent loot in here. There's also a loot chest over here. Something to note: if you are wanting to head back to town after being here, you can activate one of these other rings. And it will open up a trapdoor that takes you outside to some more loot. It gets you closer to town as well. We won't be leaving that way though. We go downstairs first. I'm going to show you where you can find a bunch of pickaxes. Remember, I told you these can be broken down into 2 iron each. So if you did not have enough traps before you came here, you can very easily create a bunch on the fly in the field. It's very convenient. We're going to come here, we're going to mine these because it can also give you thick oil. And with that thick oil and iron scraps, we are going to make bullets for our pistol. Oh, we got a gravel beetle on that one. So we're going to take 1 thick oil, 1 iron, and make us a few bullets. With that, we're going to assign our reload skill, equip our pistol, load it up. That's all you really need to know down here. There's a loot container here. Usually has some really great stuff. We're going to keep going. Little side note, if for whatever reason you find yourself imprisoned here at any point in the game, all of your loot will be here in one of these two chests, and your backpack will be laying on the floor. You don't lose it, so don't get scared. Come up here, bad guy number 2. And we're going to set, again, a bunch of traps. And one here, and one here, and one here. Then we just talk to him.
Who are you? And what? Not happening.
Not today.
Not happening.
Easy peasy. We're going to take his shield. Now we're going to go back upstairs. And again, we will start placing traps. Talk to Balira, bad guy
You're
number
not
3,
one of my warriors. You're from Cierzo.
and tell her we're just passing by.
What?
Now when you tell her not today, you're going to want to immediately start running backwards. Usually she gets a ice blast off and you want to be able to dodge that. But there you go. Combat avoided. Enemy's dead. She's always going to have this arcane robe. It's pretty nice. And we are done here. We can leave out the way we came. Okay, now that we're outside, we're going to head back towards the mountain again. A couple things to note, if you don't already know. The pearl birds have a small chance of giving you a mask that increases your movement speed. It's pretty rare though, so I wouldn't go out of my way for it. And up there on the hill is a butterfly camping area, and also a chance for a traveling caravaner to appear. There on the left you can see the entrance we went into the mountain, but we're gonna head to the east around the right of the mountain here. Follow this path around the mountain. You can see the sigil up ahead. That's how you know you're going the right way. Now here you'll see a bandit fort on the right. We're not going that direction, but you also don't have to go into it. You can just continue going straight up and over that mountain there, which is what we're going to do. There is a cave, and that is where you would get the Lightmender's Lexicon. It's an artifact. It's a great book to have for rune magic. We won't be needing that today, but a lot of the times that is the next stop on my path if rune magic is a primary focus. When you come down, you're going to go left towards that spire over there. You're going to continue following this path. You can start to see a fort. That fort is Ghost Pass in the distance. You're going to follow left around the lake. Now before we head to Ghost Pass, directly to the left, you can see some scaffolding in the distance. That is our first stop. And here we are at the Immaculate's Cave. An important note, there is a bug currently that will sometimes spawn a hostile Immaculate inside this cave as well. If that happens, run or fight him, your choice. But there shouldn't be an enemy in this cave. And here we are, no enemy. This guy is friendly. You can talk to him. Ask him to help you. And tell him you need power. Shelter, equipment, and storage don't give you much of anything good, but power is the reason we are here. He is going to teach us the possession boon. And there we go. Thank you for the chat. There is one loot container here, usually with some pretty decent things. Nothing we need. Off we go. Okay. We're going to leave, going back the way we came. This time we're going to follow along the base of the cliff here towards the sigil stone, coming up on Ghost Pass to our left. Okay, here's Ghost Pass. This is the first real wall that a lot of new players hit, mainly because the ghosts cannot be damaged by physical damage. But we're not going to have to worry about that because our obsidian pistol does burning damage and can handle them just fine. That being said, when we're doing the run for Skillz, we're not actually going to be fighting any of these. We're going to be running right on through, and I'm going to show you the path so that you do not get lost. There are always 2 spiritual varnishes here. You can put those on your axe, and that will help in killing them if you choose to do so. But we're going to be running to our left. Feel free to rewind and watch this as much as you need so that you don't get lost. You're going to go to the door on your right. There's a switch immediately to your left. Just leave out the way you came. You can activate this so that they don't follow you. Continue straight ahead. To your left. And there's the elevator. And here we are. That's the exit. I'll go ahead and show you this just for the sake of showing you. But you can come in here. If you hit that switch, you will close this gate and open this gate. Inside is a pretty scary ghost. But if you're fast, you can just run right on in. Take all. And leave. Hit this and he won't follow you back through. And you're free to leave. And we are now on the other side of the Ghost Pass. We're going to follow this trail. To your left, there's a cache over there if you want it. Could have traps and bullets. But our goal is to cross this bridge and head to that tower over there on our right. Just to show you, in case you were wanting to use wind magic at all, this is what the totems look like. This is the first totem. You activate these. And without these activated, you are not able to use wind magic. There is one in each area, and you will need to find them. Also something to note, if you join a co-op game and the host does not have their towers activated, you cannot use your magic in their game. Anyway, this is where we want to be. The Hermit's house. Here we are inside. Once inside, there is a vendor to the right. Talk to the Hermit.
Excellent. Listen to me.
Tell him you want to train. We've already learned Reveal Soul from the Conflux Mountain. We don't actually, in this playthrough, need any of this. but you could clearly go this route for another build revolved around pistols. Right now, we're forced to take Call to Elements so that we can get what we came here for, and that is this passive weather tolerance. This is optional. You do not have to come through Ghost Pass for this, at least in this build. But it is a very good quality of life skill that I feel like every build should have at some point. So if you don't get this on your initial run, it is always good to come back and get it at some point in your playthrough. He's got a loot here that usually has some good stuff, and it almost always has a Gaberry wine. We're going to take that Gaberry wine and I'm going to show you what you can do with it. Okay, this next part is not something I do pretty much ever, but I'll show you guys. You take that Gaberry wine and you're going to run across here to this cemetery. I've already done this as many times as I need to, so this is not something I do on new characters anymore. But it is going to be a stop that you're probably going to want to make. You come in here, just avoid the enemies. You want to follow it along the left here. And your goal is that tree. There's going to be a gravestone over here. You can interact with it. And if you just drink the bottle of wine, you get a Sarstone. Sarstones are incredibly rare, and there's only a couple you can get per playthrough, and they're used to craft some of the strongest weapons and armor in the game as far as durability and actual physical damage or resistances go. We're going to leave and head to the right back towards the mountain, using it as our point of reference, crossing back over the bridge. Okay, once inside Ghost Gate, you do not have to go back down the elevator. We can now access a shortcut to get through. We're going to go to the left here, run past the enemies, follow our way through. Actually, we're going to mine this in the hopes that we get a Hackmanite, which we did. Lucky, lucky. Anyway, you continue following it. Activate this. And now you have opened up a shortcut through the pass. You'll never have to go through that windy trail again. Okay. Now that we are done there, we can make our way to the desert. When you come out here, you can go left. You're going to see this glowy pillar. This means that you're on the path to Monsoon. We are not going to the swamp just yet. We have to go to the desert first and stop through Berg in the forest on the way. Our swamp is always our final destination. So as you continue to run through, instead of going through the gate there, we're going to turn right and cut across and follow this around. And you can see the sunken ship again where we were earlier. We're going to keep heading towards that, following this trail. Okay, welcome to the forest. If you chose not to go through Ghost Pass, this would be your first introduction to the ghost enemies, as there is always going to be at least one on the path as soon as you enter. We are going to head directly south, keeping this hills on our left, kind of hugging them and following them around. Once you reach the big open field, you'll stop hugging the mountain and just head straight across the field. When you get to the pillar, you can turn left. And here you will start to see this archway that leads you to the entrance of Berg. Welcome to Berg. We're going to talk to the trader here on the left.
This worries me.
And get some silver. We're going to speak to this guy. He's the hunting trainer.
What can I do for you?
All we want from him is enrage. Nothing else. We're going to come over here, up this ramp. Here's the blacksmith.
Hey there.
We're just going to get some more silver from him. Come up these stairs. Something of note, if you come up this stairs and go over there at those stairs, the Cabal Wind Totem for the forest area is right there on the top of that hill, if you chose to do wind magic for any reason. Anyway, we're going to come across the water and head to this Rune Trainer.
How can I help you?
We're going to buy all 4 of the runes. And we are going to do our first breakthrough. We're going to get Arcane Syntax. And then we're going to do something a little odd. You have to choose between Internalized Lexicon and Runic Prefix. In almost all scenarios, I would tell you that Runic Prefix is the only choice. It's just too good to not choose it over Internalized Lexicon. You get more powerful spells with added effects, and it's just too good. However, for this particular build, we are going to choose Internalized Lexicon. The reason we're choosing Internalized Lexicon for this build is because we want to be able to have access to our pistol or our shield while still being able to cast our runes. This is going to give you a lot of versatility and survivability, and just in general give you some more fun gameplay and not be tied down to your book. Will you be the most powerful? No. But that doesn't matter. You're going to have fun. Before we leave, we're going to enter the chamber. And in the center here will be a man who will teach us our Mist Boon for 50 silver.
What can I do for you? Listen.
And we are now free to leave. We can exit the city through the back gate and head towards the desert. Okay. When we exit the town, we're going to come under this arch and we're going to follow it to the right. There's usually a few bandits here. You can avoid them. And we're going to follow this trail a little bit. We're now going to cut across. And head straight down and into this arch. Welcome to the desert. First thing we want to do is drink some water. And use our cool boon. We're going to go ahead and use one of our endurance potions. And we're going to head to the east. But before we do, I just want to show you that there is a chance that the caravan trader can sometimes show up right over there. Here we're going to go directly east, avoiding enemies along the way. The desert is actually pretty easy to navigate. The landmarks are easy to see, and you can see the city all the way from here. So it is a straight shot. Sometimes the caravan trader can be here by that tree as well. Welcome to Levant. This is my favorite city. Something of note, until you progress further into the storyline, everything in Levant will be much more expensive. So if you are choosing to come here and spend your time, I highly suggest that you are completely stocked with everything that you need beforehand. We're going to head straight. There's 2 vendors on either side. As always, we're going to convert our gold into silver. We're going to head straight up these stairs. And our favorite trainer is going to be here on our right.
What can I do for you?
Here we are going to buy fast maintenance, armor training, shatter bullet, frost bullet, swiftfoot, marathoner, and blood bullet. Once we have blood bullet, we're going to head down to our right and head to this guy over here in the big wizard hat.
Yes, this worries me.
What we want from him is this hound mask, and also we want to train with him.
This worries me.
And he's going to teach us the warm boon.
Remember this. Curious.
We can now finally get rid of our hat. This hound mask gives us another damage bonus. So with all 3 pieces, we have a really nice bonus to our damage from our pistols or any source that's physical. We're not done yet. We're now going to cut across And we're going to head into the slums. You'll notice when you enter the slums, this boarded up wall here. We'll be coming back to that. Gonna follow around here. And here we'll find the Rogue Trainer.
What can I do for you?
From the Rogue Trainer, we're going to want pressure plate training and sweep kick. Once you learn sweep kick, you're going to turn around and go right up these stairs. You're going to head to those stairs. And you're going to talk with this man on the ledge.
You look like you've been around.
You're
Spare
going
a
to
few
donate
silver,
a bunch of silver
Thanks
to
a
him.
bunch. You look like you've been. Thanks a bunch.
And after 3 times,
You look like I'm. All right.
he's going to unlock a secret black market dealer. If you do it 2 more
You look like
times,
you've been. I'm grateful. I see. You look like I'm grateful. You've really helped us out.
he
I'd like
unlocks
to
a
return
secret
the favor to
stash.
you. It's mostly weapons and stuff like that left in the shipment.
You're going to come
Feel
back
free
down
to help
here,
yourself.
past the Rogue Trainer. And this was previously inaccessible, but there's a secret stash here. It will always have pretty much the same loot in it, so it's a good way to access your cannon pistol, extra bullets, iron scraps, what have you. We are almost done here. We're going to head back to where I told you this wall was. And we're going to use that plant tent that we got earlier. And we are going to sleep for 1 day. Okay? And now you see this wall is gone. We've cut a shortcut through the slums and unlocked the black market. This is important for later when we do the end game build, as this is the
You
trader
touch it, you buy it.
that will sell you the Chimera pistol. It's the best pistol in the game and something that is necessary for our build when we are optimizing. For now, she just sells a bunch of really expensive stuff. Sometimes has some good rare crafting materials. But we don't need any of this right now. Nor can we afford it since we want to get our 3rd skills. I just wanted to show you that that's how you unlock that, because you will need to come back for that later once you watch my end game build guide for this character. We are now officially done here in the desert. So we are going to drink some water. And you're free to leave. Once outside, we're going to just head directly across the desert back the way we came into the forest. Okay, now that we're back in the forest, we're going to go right, heading back towards the way we came. Instead of going to Berg, we're going to head straight across. Okay, so here we are in the marsh. Something to note, if you look at your map, the area we came into was from this entrance, and you will notice there's a giant blue wall here that prevents you from crossing this bridge, and the rest of the area is landlocked. However, we're gonna run through real fast and unlock some bridges to create a shortcut here. Go ahead and feel free to watch this section as many times as you need, but I'm basically going to just rush through this and show you how to do it. Here we go. Okay, once inside, there's plenty of loot and plenty of enemies, but we're gonna rush past all that. We're gonna run to the right here, go up this elevator, avoid the skeleton, and activate this switch. That switch unlocked this door over here. There will be a blade dancer. We'll run past him, go up these stairs, and open this switch. That'll open this gate. And we can now come in here. We're going to walk across this. There's going to be one enemy in here, easily avoidable. And we're going to run by, grab the idol, and peace out. Indiana Jones. Put the idol on the pillar and leave. Okay, I'm sure you notice now there is a giant metal bridge that has popped up, and we have unlocked access to cross over into the mainland. To our left is the Spire of Light. That is where you will find the Gold Lich. But we're not going to be doing that right now. We're just going to cross these bridges. And once we get across, we're going to go to our right. There is a stash there. We're going to keep going right, following this trail. Now once you get here, you'll notice to the right, that is the Giants Village. They have some pretty good stuff over there. It is also the location for a quest. But we're going to keep going this way. We're heading towards that pillar of light over there. That is Monsoon. And here we've made it to the docks. And we can speak with the ferryman to take us to the city. Welcome to Monsoon. First thing we want to do is come to our left over here. Talk to Raiden.
Watch yourself out in the marsh.
Train with him.
It's never safe out there.
To learn the Blessed
me.
Boon. Congratulations, you now have all of your boons. Well, almost all. We still need discipline. That is a path there. A lot of people run right past it because it's so blinding that you can't tell that there's actually anything on the other side. But it is a path up to the trainers. That is where we are headed. Now normally, when choosing between these two, it's a no-brainer. Warrior Monk is one of the best skill trainers in the game. And is certainly essential to one of the more popular meta builds in the game because of Master of Motion. On the flip side, the Philosopher Trainer
Greetings, friend.
is usually pretty garbage because chakrams are terrible. Now, I'm committing a lot of sins with this build tonight because we've already chosen internalized lexicon, and now I'm going to tell you that we are going to choose Philosopher as well. However, first we can
Hey there.
train here and learn slow metabolism, as it is a great quality of life skill. We can learn focus to increase the damage of our pistols, and we can learn brace as well because this is a magic block, meaning that it can, unlike shields, block magic attacks as well if timed properly. It's just nice to have options. Now we're going to come over here
Greetings, friend.
and we're going to take Fire Sigil, Mana Ward. When combined, these will cast Immolate, lighting you on fire and increasing the fire damage that you do. It's not something you'll be using a lot, but in endgame build, you will be using this for some tougher enemies. We're going to now take our third and final breakthrough for Leyline Connection. And coming up here for Fire Affinity, further boosting our fire resistance and damage bonuses. And there you have it. Our build is complete, and we are ready to start our playthrough. If you spoke with all of the people you needed to in the beginning before you left, you could now feel free to join the Monsoon faction, or head back to the desert and join Levant, or Berg and join the Blue Collective. Each one has their own perks. For this build, personally, I would probably choose Levant or Monsoon. You get a lot of really great passives and bonus to your mana through Monsoon, along with a permanent 2 defense protection. That's really great. But with Levant, you get a permanent 15% damage to all damage types. And for end game content, I think that's what this build would benefit from the most. Anyway, I'll do a quick rundown of the skills that we got, but I will be going more in depth with this build in a later video. By choosing runes, we gained access to one of 2 healing spells in the game, as well as a bit of variety. You know, I told you this was the Master of None, so we can fulfill any role. We have traps. We have lightning damage from a distance. We have buffs to bolster our defense. We have a healing spell in Runic Healing, but we also have the other only healing spell in the game from Blood Bullet. With Blood Bullet and Frost Bullet, we never have to actually carry around any bullets with us. And with choosing
Greetings, friend.
Leyline Connection, we gain a mana regen per second that allows us to constantly reuse our skills in battle, our runes or what have you. By choosing internalized lexicon, we're able to keep our pistol in our hand while we cast runes, or alternatively, hide behind a shield while we cast our runes. This is really great because you can hold on, I'll show you. This is really great because you can hide behind your shield and cast a magic trap while hiding behind your shield. Magic trap works really great as a melee attack. Also, you can just constantly block, heal yourself, wait until your mana regens as you're hiding behind your shield, and continue the fight. There's just a lot of things you can do. Again, I will be touching on all this in the in-depth guide. But we have all of our boons. We have access to multiple playstyles, be it pistols or shields or traps. We have access to all different kinds of traps. And it's a great way to stay in shape. So anyway, I hope you guys stuck with me and that I didn't ramble too terribly much. I look forward to making more content for Outward. And if this was beneficial to you at all, if you enjoyed it, like, subscribe, all the other things that the YouTubers say. And peace out, guys. Thanks again.